Alrighty, hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us for our webinar today on small business success with AI. My name is Rob Retzloff and I'm the Executive Director of the Connected Commerce Council. And I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to join us today for this really great workshop. As a quick programming note, just a couple of things. This webinar is being recorded, so this is going to be shared with you in a follow-up email. So if you guys miss anything or want to take notes later on, keep an eye out for that email with the link to the YouTube recording. And also, if you guys have any questions throughout the webinar, please use that Q&A tool on the Zoom function, either on your computer or if you're joining us on your phone to submit any questions. And we'll be sure to answer them later on during the live Q&A session after the presentation. I know a couple of you have already submitted questions already, so we'll be sure to go over those and then any others that you guys have throughout the webinar today. So it's great to see a couple of familiar faces and names joining us today and a couple of new ones as well. For those of you who might not be familiar with 3C, I just want to share a brief background about our organization. The Connected Commerce Council, also known as 3C, was founded back in 2018 as an advocacy-based organization dedicated to supporting digital-powered small businesses. At 3C, our main goal is to help advance the interests, education, and engagement of small businesses that are leveraging digital tools and technology to better scale and grow their companies, while also ensuring businesses have a voice in public policy discussions at the state and federal levels. As an advocacy organization, we understand the challenges faced by small business leaders who often find themselves constrained by limited time and resources to engage in full-time policy debates. And that's why we strive to support small businesses each and every day by providing them with the necessary tools and knowledge to actively participate in policy discussions. So in today's rapidly evolving digital economy, policymakers are deliberating issues and policies that could profoundly affect American small businesses. Whether you're facing rising costs to economic issues, regulatory hurdles, or other challenges, the team at 3C is here to help empower you with the skills needed to engage in meaningful policy discussions. So with that, thank you all again for taking the time to join us for today's webinar. I'm now going to pass the mic to 3C's Tech Policy Fellow, Sharon, to introduce herself and talk about the importance of customer growth with AI and what this means for your business, and also why advocacy matters for small business leaders. Sharon?
Thank you, Rob. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon. I'm really excited to be here with you all. So for a quick recap, my name is Sharon. I am a 3C Tech Policy Fellow, and I'm currently a grad student at Georgetown University studying tech policy comms. And what really drew me to 3C is my strong belief in the power of small businesses. Small businesses like yours all don't just run businesses, you're all innovators, job creators, and community builders. Your success fuels local economies and keeps our communities thriving. The rapid rise of AI-driven tools has made it easier and more affordable than ever for small businesses like yours to compete, streamline operations, and reach new customers. As digital tools evolve, many are at a small business's disposal, from AI-powered customer service chatbots to automated marketing platforms to data analytic tools. The digital landscape is filled with various solutions to help small businesses succeed in a digital economy. As AI continues to evolve, it's natural for concerns to arise about how technology is advancing. Policymakers, in their efforts to address potential risks, sometimes propose regulations that unintentionally restrict small businesses' access to these powerful and cost-effective tools. While concerns about AI replacing human labor and the rise of deepfakes are valid, the conversation too often leans towards fear rather than opportunity. Instead of embracing AI benefits, policymakers risk creating barriers that limit small business' ability to compete and grow. And beyond AI regulations, small businesses are also impacted by growing patchwork of state-level data privacy laws and online advertising restrictions. These policies have real-world consequences for small businesses, which means navigating these policies is challenging and burdensome, but it is also presents as a unique opportunity for small business leaders to demonstrate resilience and innovation in the face of these regulatory changes. Indeed, navigating these challenges can be difficult, but as a small business leader, sustaining growth and success with these unique opportunities is important. In public policy discussions, your voice matters when creating these holistic policies that benefit your business. For instance, consumer data such as location, interest, online behavior, and purchase history, website engagement, and key metrics like click-through rates are integral for every small business. Without it, how would one create digital advertisements to reach the right customers and increase business growth and brand loyalty? With these over restricting privacy regulations, small businesses would not have access to digital tools and resources to leverage their own business. So, for every small business leader, they are an economic driver. Your voice carries real weight with lawmakers. When they hear directly from your experiences by engaging with media and meeting with your local Congress members about the benefits of AI and the impact that digital tools have had on your business, they will listen and keep your interest in mind while crafting these legislations. Which is why 3C is here to ensure that small businesses are not just part of the conversation, but rather leading it. Whether it is engaging with legislators, sharing your stories, or shaping policy discussions, your voice can drive real change. If you're interested with collaborating with 3C, please be on the lookout for a post-event email from us. And with that said, and the understanding of why advocacy matters, I'd like to introduce Justin Coates from neesh.ai, who will guide you all through an interactive presentation by leveraging AI tools to reach more customers and grow your business. Please remember to leave your questions in the chat box, and we will answer them during the Q&A session near towards the end of the presentation.
Thank you, Sharon and Rob, for bringing me and bringing this webinar to all of your audience. And thank you, everyone, for joining. And today, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence. And like Sharon said, the opportunity that it brings to your business and your employees and you yourself being a human. Artificial intelligence and today's technology doesn't just stop at the business when you leave. So it actually is a tool that you can use in pretty much all facets of your life. But for today, I'll be focusing on a lot of how you can use it inside of your business. So give me a second to get my screen share set up. And what I'll be doing today is just walking you through a short presentation that I have. We'll spend probably 20 minutes here talking about, I'll be sharing a bunch of information about artificial intelligence and this new era technology, and just really what I've been learning from our clients and customers over the past couple of years of teaching them artificial intelligence and how to integrate it into their business for themselves and their employees. And then we'll jump into a demo. So I will be doing a live demo today of how exactly I use ChatGPT, one of these new tools. It's a large language model. I'll be showing you how I use that for some various tasks that I do inside of my business, and likely that you do as well. And then Q&A, as Sharon and Rob both mentioned. I really enjoy interactive webinars and presentations. So if I can multitask properly, like all of us good humans can, I might be answering some of the questions during the presentation. So please feel free to ask at any point. I enjoy all of the questions. And then we'll definitely wrap up with a solid Q&A for everybody. So with that, I'll go ahead and jump in. And as you can see, it's artificial intelligence tools for your business. So here at neesh.ai, we specialize in AI literacy, education, and integration. And so what that means is we really start from square one with you and your team, and we teach you what AI is and then how to use it, and how to integrate it into your business. And so that's what we really do, and what we'll be talking about today. So the next slide is a video that I want to show you. So we'll just kick off there.
Hey everyone, thank you for giving me the opportunity to shed some light on AI, give you a demonstration of one of the tools and a couple of ways to use it, and hopefully give you a perspective you've not yet had that shows you how you can start to utilize and integrating this new era technology into your personal and professional life. I'm Justin Coates, co-founder of neesh.ai, an AI literacy, training, and custom software solution company.
Okay, so I want to take us all back to the 90s and early 2000s. Who remembers that dial-up sound. And I'm sure as soon as I said that, you started playing that sound in your head. And so taking you all the way back to that moment where you have to actually plug your computer in and then steal the landline from whoever else is in your house and you can't get those phone calls, to now. We're in 2025. We're about, almost completely 2 months in, almost 8 weeks in. So congratulations, we're here, we made it. This video is 100% artificial intelligence. I uploaded 30 seconds of a video of me to this system called HeyGen, HeyGen. 30-second video of me into this HeyGen system. And in 5 minutes, I had this video. I wrote the script, I uploaded the script, and it created this video of me. 100% artificial intelligence in about 5 minutes for free. And so this is technology to where, this is where we're at today. I actually created this video and several others, but this video was created in September. So even halfway through 2024, this is where we're at. And we're continuing to get better and better. And so you may have noticed a couple things in my voice and my presentation of that. And today's technology, if you spend a little bit more time on this, it is indistinguishable from me, the real human. And so just to help you all feel better, this is actually me, the real human, Justin. This is not an AI version. So I am the human giving you this presentation. And so this is where we're at with technology, but let's jump backwards a little bit. And where did it all start, and how did it get created to where we are now today? And AI really started in the 50s as a field of research and field of study. The 40s and 50s is when computers really started to be created and become a thing. And then, shortly after that in the 60s, that's where the technological era really started to take over. We sent people to the moon and used computers, really big computers, to do all of that, right? And somewhere around the 70s and 80s is when the internet started to become a thing. And that's where us humans, the more that internet proliferated and expanded throughout the globe, throughout the world in the 90s and early 2000s, that became a centralized location for humans to just put information in. And so everything that we humans have put into that system, into that internet for the last 30, 40 years, that's all of the information that this new era technology is trained on. So tools like ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Anthropic Claude, or you hear about XAI now, it's a big tool coming up. Those are large language models. They are trained on language, text, and imagine all of the different data points, all the different text that's in the internet. So they've consumed the entirety of the open internet and some of the closed internet, trillions and trillions of data points. And so that's what these new tools are trained on. That's kind of how they're created in non-technical terms. They've consumed the entire internet, and how we're using them is a lot of innovation. It's causing a lot of innovation, and it's causing a lot of positive impact and a lot of opportunity across every sector, every job. It does not matter if you are the CEO, a founder, or a brand new employee to an organization. It is allowing you to be empowered in the role that you serve in your business. And so looking forward into what that actually looks like in your role and how do you use this technology for that, you have access to this huge knowledge base of information. And so how do you actually use that for your specific need? And so where you start with this is, you start to break down your job, and your job is your job title, but under your job title, you really have a bunch of different buckets that make up your job. You can call them deliverables, you can call them projects, you can call them responsibilities. And if you have a job description, I'm sure there's a list of responsibilities that you have. Those are big buckets that make up your job title. And inside of each one of those buckets, you have a bunch of tasks, subtasks, and micro tasks that actually make up that project or that responsibility or that deliverable. And when you can start breaking down the tasks and the subtasks and the micro tasks, this is where you start to get the power of artificial intelligence. Because when you can teach it each step of a micro task or subtask and then task, it now has the ability and the understanding of what you need exactly to be done for that project or that responsibility. And so it's not replacing humans, it's not replacing your full job. It's empowering you to get rid of the first couple steps of that task or that project. And so think about that for yourself, for your job, for your tasks that you have. And now take a step back and think about that for your entire organization. Think about all of the micro tasks. How many tasks are people doing? How many 1 through 5, steps 1 through 5 is everyone doing in your business every single day? Now imagine being able to hand off 1 through 5 to an artificial intelligence system because you trained it, because you know exactly how to tell it what steps 1 through 5 is. And now the human coming into this job is starting on step 6. And that's the opportunity in artificial intelligence. This is where you truly get to see the power of how it saves you time, how it makes you more productive, more efficient, how it reduces stress, how it increases your mental capacity and the energy that you have to put into those jobs and those tasks that you have. And thinking about that for your entire business, that's a lot of efficiency. That's a lot of opportunity for you to gain from this technology. Implementing this technology is extremely important. So you have to think from square one of what does this actually look like? And so the first couple steps, and these are actionable steps that you can take right, today, actually. Does your organization have a generative AI usage policy? Do you have guidelines to teach your employees or give your employees, say, hey, this is a limit. We will not put our customer data into these systems. Or this is the information that you get with it. Or we are environmentally conscious, so we need to be sure that we're not just using it for a normal Google search, but let's use it for real complex tasks or problems that we have in our business, right? And those are actual use cases that we've talked businesses through about how to use. And then, are your leaders bought in to this technology? And are they bought in on adopting this technology? It's not just a new tool that you can purchase and sign up for and then have an employee go learn it, and then that employee is the only one that understands how to use that technology. It's not like just purchasing a CRM or a new social media posting tool. It's not that at all. It is legitimately a tool that everyone from top to bottom of the organization needs to use. And needs to learn and understand. And if the leaders are not bought in on this technology, the employees will know that, because you'll say, yeah, we bought you a license, go figure it out, right? That tells the entire company that you're not bought in on it. Once you have the AI usage policy and the leadership has learned what this technology is and how to implement it, there needs to be a training and integration plan developed for the entire company, not just one department. It can't just be IT that controls this. It can't just be the C-suite that controls this. It legitimately has to be the entire company. And in doing that, once everyone has been trained and there's an integration plan in place, then you get to choose which department are we really going to focus on, because it is a journey. It's an AI adoption journey, and it takes time. And being able to choose a department that maybe it's a department that if it was more productive, you could 2 or 3x your business, right? Choose that department. Let's go there first. That sounds like some low-hanging fruit. And so these are the steps from square one that you really need to kind of think about is, do you have an AI adoption policy? Is leadership bought in? Are they learning about it? Are they paying attention to what's happening in artificial intelligence? Is there a training program put in place for all of the employees, regardless of a brand new employee or the most tenured employee? And what areas of the business do you really want to transform first? And in doing this, there is some risk. There is some concern of what's happening to our data. And so these 4 bullet points that I have here are some of the most common risks and concerns that we run across when we're talking to companies and organizations. And one of them being data privacy issues. I'm sure some of you have some questions about data privacy issues, and we'll bring them up, absolutely. This is, sorry, my screen messed up for a second, had a human moment. So data privacy is really, what are you putting into these systems and tools that you're using? And where is that data going? Who's storing that data and who owns that data? And this is where you want to be safe, the safety aspect of using this artificial intelligence technology. You want to not put in customer data. You don't want to input any personal identifiable information, right? You want to sanitize that information before you put it into these systems. So have some level of understanding of what information are you actually putting into it. And then employees bringing their own tools. This is true. So there's a website that aggregates all these new era artificial intelligence tools. And there's over 3 million different artificial intelligence tools out there. So guaranteed your employees are bringing some of these tools that you may have never heard of to work to help themselves complete their tasks better, faster, more efficiently. But ultimately, what are they doing with these tools? What information are they putting in there? Is there training? Is there integration involved? And then the last couple, decreased productivity and loss of competitive edge. The loss of competitive edge, I think that's just, if your business is stagnating, or if you're not adopting and changing and moving forward with your industry and what's happening, then you're going to lose your competitive edge anyway. And then decreased productivity, this happens when employees just don't understand exactly how to use these tools. And maybe they're using them improperly or bringing the wrong tool for the job. And so, I'm talking a lot about ChatGPT, and here in a minute, my demonstration will be about, with ChatGPT, but there are other tools for specific jobs and tasks. And so maybe they're using the wrong tool. And so again, how do we really empower the team and yourself if you're, a solopreneur or solo business owner, or you have a small team, 10, 20, 50 people? How do we do this, right? And we're really looking at learn the tools, understand what these tools are, and which one is best suited for the task at hand, and adapting and adopting to change. Open the door to change and be ready to step through. This is a very, very big change moment for every business, regardless of size. And then courageous leadership. This one is something that's extremely important to me, and something that I've recognized in all of the businesses that we've helped and supported, is leadership a lot of times they're in the same place the employees are. They don't know what this technology is. And so being a courageous leader in this, it means go learn for yourself, understand what this technology is and how to use this technology, and then show your team, talk to your team about what you're doing and how you're using it and how it's changing your job, how it's changing how you work and what you do. And when you do this and you adopt this and you go back to the first steps of adopting AI in your business, what you're looking to get from all of this is 80%. You're not looking to have this system read your mind and understand everything that you need to do and then go complete it all before you get out of bed in the morning. Maybe in the future we'll have that and be really awesome and fun, really cool. But that's not where technology is today. It cannot read your mind. It does not know exactly what you want and does not know exactly how you can do or how it needs to be done, right? And so breaking your tasks down to those micro tasks and those subtasks, and then teaching these systems how to do it, you're really looking just to get 80% complete and then ship it. And that's, kind of known in the business world is get 80% done and let's go. But now you can spend 10 minutes going, 0 to 8, getting 80% of the way there, and then spend another day on that task and make it 100%. And that's where the human comes into the picture with using this technology, is completing that 20%. So that 20% is what really matters. That's the thing that makes your product or your service very different than your competitors. And it allows you to really focus on what matters. And so that's really what you're looking for. It's just 80%. And then the human comes in and does the rest of the 20%. And as we move forward into 2025 and this technology advances and changes, how we're going to use it changes too. And what that looks like for this year is AI assistance. An AI assistant is an artificial intelligence tool that you can talk to, and it can help work through a bunch of tasks and create content for you. You can create messaging, strategy, and it's what I will be showing you and doing and giving you a demo of here shortly. But these are the tools that we have for today. And this year, AI agents are the next thing, the next tool that's being worked on. And we'll have amazing tools like AI agents throughout this year, that these tools really actually go perform actions for you. And so you build them or you create them for a very specific job or purpose, and they go perform actions across the internet for you. And so for this one, you can think of like booking travel for a conference, right? You can give an AI agent, hey, I'm going to a conference in Austin, Texas, and here's the conference link, and I need a hotel, I need a rental car, and I'm going to be there for 3 days, and I like to fly on Delta. So you just gave it information, a goal to go perform, and it's going to go across the internet and book that travel for you. At certain checkpoints, like entering your credit card information or logging into any accounts that you might have, it will come back to you and say, hey, I need you to buy this, or here's what I want you to buy. It's this plane ticket, it's this hotel, it's this rental car. Do you agree? If yes, I need you to enter the credit card information, right? And so at certain checkpoints, you'll be able to guide and direct this agent, but ultimately it's going to go book and plan all of that for you so you don't have to. And then eventually, throughout this year and in the coming years, we're going to have digital twins. You saw mine at the very beginning of this presentation. You saw my digital twin, and it's a complete digital replica of you and your voice. And some of you might be saying, well, why would I use that? When would I use it? perfect use case for this is I 100% would have used this 2 weeks ago. I'm planning an AI conference here in Central Oregon. That's where I'm from. And uh, I'm planning this conference with a couple partners. And one of the partners 2 weeks ago had a very human thing that he needed to go do. He needed to be there for his son. He had to pick him up from school. And during the time that we were supposed to meet and talk about strategy and move to the next step and start executing on bringing our event to life. And I would have been completely content meeting with his digital twin, because his twin would have been trained on the event that we're doing, the background, the strategy that we're wanting to do, and arguably some of him, the human person, it would have been trained on his perspective and who he is and how he thinks about business. And that would have given me an opportunity to have that meeting, to have that discussion, to get my thoughts and questions out while he is being human and being there and showing up for his kid. And that truly, that's when I would use it. It allows us to be human. That's really what this technology is all about, is how can we harness this technology so that we can really focus on the human parts of our lives. And with all of this technology, what's the return? What does the business benefit, and how does the business benefit from this? And so I have a couple slides with some statistics for you. This one is brought from a report that Microsoft has done, and they did it late last year. I think this report came out in November timeframe of last year. And they showed that for every dollar invested in artificial intelligence tools, this is training your team, this is getting new tools off the shelf, plugging them into your company, integrating them properly, you're looking at a 3.7 times return. And if you put that in advertising terms, if you're used to paid advertising at all, that's a 3.7 ROAS. You're spending that money. You are going to do that advertising because you're getting 3.7x return on that dollar. And so I think this report was surveyed over 4,300 people and business leaders. And then the other parts of it were efficiency and productivity gains. But one piece that came from it that was actually a little surprising to me was the innovation on an individual level. So the power of this technology and power of these tools gives the individual a perspective on their job or their tasks that creates internal innovation on the individual employee level. And so it's not just whole organizational innovation, it is legitimately each individual person has the ability to innovate their role in a way that we never had before. And this set of statistics came from an organization that surveyed over 1,800 marketing agencies and professionals and in early 24. So this report came out in April of last year. And what they saw was there was a 60% increase of AI usage year over year in marketing agencies, which makes sense. One of my demonstrations will be going through some marketing material. And then 54% of the small businesses said it's impacting their growth of the business. It's not just making things more productive and efficient, it's actually having an impact on the bottom line. And then the biggest stat in this is marketing experts are using this technology and saving over 30 hours a week in their job. This is believable. I have seen this happen. In some of our trainings that we offer and that we do, we've had people start saving 5 hours before they're even completed with our training per week in their work that they do. And then as we start to, as we get closer to the demo, just rounding this out a little bit more, working with Niche, with us, this is some of our customer testimonials, but really why I'm showing this is to show you that when you utilize this technology properly and you teach your employees and you understand how it impacts your business, you can get 2x productivity gains, which means if you're a marketing agency, you can bring on more clients without adding more people. It really does happen like that. And then one of our most recent testimonials, one of our training clients, she went through the course and they hired us for the integration, the longer term relationship, where we really help it into, this technology get integrated into your business. She was telling me the other day, she said, I went home and I actually taught my husband. He's more technically savvy than me, but finally I had something that I could teach him. And he had 30 employee reviews that he had to do. And usually that takes him 2 to 3 weekends to accomplish. And she taught him the methodology that we teach of how to use ChatGPT properly. And he ended up completing those 30 employee reviews in 5 hours. So she went from not being able to see him for 2 to 3 weekends because he's head down, doing his job and completing these tasks, to 5 hours later, he's completely done. And now they have, essentially 2 free weekends. And so this is the power of this technology. And, so I want to say thank you for listening to this presentation. And I'll be switching over to screen share my ChatGPT so I can do some demonstration for you. And while I do that, I'm just pulling up some questions, and I see a couple of them. I actually don't see any complete questions here. So if anybody has any, please go ahead and put it in the QA box. I'm happy to answer that. So getting started with ChatGPT. Also, if you have any tasks or anything that you want to see me do with ChatGPT, I'm going to do this for about maybe 10 more minutes here and give us an actual 15 minutes of Q&A back and forth. So if you have anything that you want to see, please put it in the chat or in the Q&A box, and I'll see what I can do about getting it done. But using ChatGPT, this is the user interface. And I know that some of you surveyed before this event say that you've been using it for a year to year and a half. So this might be familiar to you. And some of you said you haven't used it at all. So I'll cover both sides of this. When you're using this technology, if you look over here on this left-hand side right here, these are all of my digital teammates. These are all of my assistants, my AI assistants. And I create these specifically for certain projects or tasks that I have or roles that I have inside of my business. And what this looks like is I have a CMO. And so you can think of, a chief marketing officer. That's a higher level role inside of a business. And so I use this digital teammate to help me with strategy, to help me with, marketing strategy for new products. And what that looks like is, because I've trained it, its background training is on my business. It understands our mission, it understands our vision, it understands our tone, our voice. I've given it our brand guidelines. So it understands our color scheme, our fonts that we use, and who our demographics are. I've given it our services that we offer, so it knows our business. And you can think of it as the perfect employee. And I've trained it to, I come to this, let's build a marketing plan. I do this quite often. And so all I have to do is click that button, and it's as if I'm saying it to this digital teammate. And every time it's going to ask me these two questions of what is the topic of the marketing plan, and then how long do we want this marketing plan to be? And this is some ways that you can use this for, optimizing social media content. You start with a strategy around a topic of, we'll just answer, say, AI literacy. training, and then 2, let's make this a 2-month marketing campaign with 5 social media posts per week on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, so we're giving it some information, and now it's going to go through and create this marketing plan for me, right? And you know, I'll scroll this so you can read a little bit, but it's targeting our audience and who we're looking for and who might benefit the most from this type of campaign. I mentioned it understands our branding because I gave it our brand guide, right? And now it's understanding, it's giving us this strategy of here's what we want to do, here's the weekly content plan, creative direction. And as a human, right, in this moment, I'm going through because of speed. I want to make sure that I have time to answer some questions. I'm seeing some come in. Um, you know, as the human, when you go through this and you start this process of working with these AI assistants and these tools, you need to review what it's saying. You need to review it for accuracy and for quality. So that way you can look at it and say, okay, this is actually really good. This works, or no, this doesn't work. We need to tweak this. We need to edit this a little bit. And when you do that, that's when you tell it, you say, actually, let's do 10 social media posts per week, right? And let this adjustment happen and say, okay, now redo the plan according to this adjustment, right? And make that adjustment with these systems so that it's really aligned. Also understand it's a computer system. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't care if you have it redo something 1,000 times. But you can see when I did this, it still maintained our branding. It still maintained all of that, right? That's how I've trained it to do this. And so having it go through and help create this plan, this strategy, is a really, really good starting point. And then we can, after it's done with the next steps, it actually asked me, do you want to see some mock-ups? So yes, show some mock-ups of the social media content in table format, because it's easier for me to read and understand that way. And provide a description of the visuals for each post. And how I work with these systems and how I teach how you work with these systems is to go step by step, right? It can create this content so fast that you can go step by step by asking it what it thinks the visual should look like. Instead of just telling it to go create the image and then reiterating each image and getting it to be what you want it to be, ask it to describe the image first and take that step. And then you can say, okay, go create that image and show me what that looks like, right? And this allows you to work through and be more effective with each individual piece of content or strategy that you're doing and using this for. And so I'm going to take a little moment to read through some of the questions that we have and see if anybody wanted to see anything specific. So there was a question that says, can AI analyze web traffic and social media engagement to suggest personalized outreach strategies for acquiring new customers? Yes, it can. You would need to provide it that data and those analytics, but you can do that by uploading a Word document, a PowerPoint document, Excel document, a screenshot from your computer, from Google Drive or from Microsoft OneDrive, for ChatGPT specifically, or even easier, you can simply just copy and paste that data and that information into the chat box and tell it exactly what you want it to do. What are you looking for? Why are you analyzing it? What's your end goal for having it analyze that data? And then another question said, how can I use AI to improve my email marketing campaigns? My open rates have been very low lately. Okay, so then, let's say we have this marketing strategy. You say, okay, now we need to create a email marketing strategy that will ensure what is that? High open rates. There we go. And now, based on this strategy that we already had for our social media posts, now we're adding on top of that and building an email campaign that coincides, right? And so, we're working with it and we're adding to this strategy. And in doing that, it's taking all of the same things that we did, in week one, welcome emails, right? Program oversight, testimonial spotlights. It's walking us through exactly what we should do. And so imagine an employee that you just hired in your marketing department, and maybe they know what they're doing. Maybe they're somewhat experienced in this, but they don't know your brand. They don't know your company. They don't know how you present to customers. And now that doesn't matter because they have this tool that's trained on your business and your brand guidelines and your tone and your voice. And so they can come in here and say, okay, create the week one email, please. Right. I am nice to it. I say, please, thank you. You did an awesome job. Or you did a bad job. Let's redo this. So I do say those things to it. But your employee now is able to go through each step of this and have an email written in your language, your tone from your business without them having to necessarily learn that immediately, so they can be effective from day one with you just hiring them. Let's see. And I'm not seeing any other questions specific to using the technology, but I do see that we are at 48 after, so I'm going to stop screen sharing and let's see if we can do some Q&A. Can you make the ChatGPT post to social media? Yes, that is possible to do that. You have to connect it through tools like Zapier or make.com. Sharon, I know I just said I was going to close the screen share, but I actually do this with one of my digital teammates. So I showed you a CMO, it's high level business stuff, right? But transcript follow-up, this is my transcript follow-up email guru. Literally, I copy and paste a transcript from any call that I have, a sales call, a strategy call, and I paste it in here and I hit enter and it creates an email for me. So create an example email because I don't have a transcript, copied, ready to go. But I paste the transcript, I hit enter, it writes an email 80% of the way that I would. So all I have to do is just go do some fine-tune editing and then add the recipient. But I've created this tool to connect to my Gmail account to create the email for me in my draft folder. So you can see it says, do you want to edit or are we good to create a draft in your Gmail? We're good to create the draft, right? And I know that the way that it's trained, I have to give it an email. So I'm just going to give it mine, Justin at neesh.ai. And then subject line, I know that it needs that as well. So I'm just going to tell it to use the subject you created and then hit enter. And because it's connected through these other tools, you can connect direct through an API or use Zapier or make.com. If you want to, learn that advanced use of it, then just connect it to that tool whatever social media posting tool you use, or if you go straight to the platform, then it will actually go do that as long as that connection works. And it seems like when I hit enter, my screen went blank. So I'll go ahead and refresh and see if it, yeah, so it came back right, and it said now the email has been created, and I can go look in my email for this draft and send it to myself. So, but yes, you can do that. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Unless any other questions or comments come up and ask to screen share, I'll do that. Happy to do it. Show some more demonstration and use cases. But one of the questions from Jody is ChatGPT free? Yes, there is a free version. So being able to build and create your own digital team is not free. That's a paid feature and use of it. But you do get all of the latest and smartest models that ChatGPT is releasing for free. You are limited. You get a limited use before they kick you off of like the best and the best features. So I recommend signing up for the paid version. It's $20 a month or $30 a month if you get a business account. Will it get copy of the video? I'm imagining you're asking if it will get a transcript from a video. It can. If you upload a video into it, there are other tools that do that as well. And a tool that I use to do that is spinach.ai, actually, is the tool that I use for video transcription. I'm able to just upload the video into their platform, and it gives me the transcript that I was looking for. And so spinach.ai is my go-to for that kind of stuff. Let's see. I missed a couple questions early on. David says, how long does the training take? So our training is 3 sessions. It's an hour and a half each session. And we actually have you bring your projects or tasks or priority tasks that you have to a couple of our sessions. So you're not missing out on work. We're actually doing it and showing you how to use the tools. So that's our training specifically. I'm not sure what other, if you go look at other trainings, how long that will take. Bridget, can AI be used to monitor financial status of the business at this time? I think the word monitoring here needs to be removed from the sentence. It can't real-time monitor. And I say I can't because I'm showing you ChatGPT. I'm talking about tools that are off the shelf right now, that are easy for everyone in your business to use. There are specialty tools that can, real-time monitor your financial status. ChatGPT cannot real-time monitor, but I use it as my CPA. I use it as my bookkeeper. I also hire human experts in those roles so that I can cross-reference and I can make sure, that one, they're doing things right, but two, what I'm using ChatGPT for is also appropriate. But also to gap fill. I only meet with those professionals that I've hired once a month, once a quarter. And so I use it to gap fill. And I have a digital teammate I didn't show you, but I have a digital teammate that's my CFO. And I upload sanitized financial information. So I remove my bank account numbers, I remove my address, I remove my name from it, anything that's identifiable. But I leave our expenses, our income and expenses in there, and I work through it as if I would a CPA or a bookkeeper or an accountant. I mean, it works very well, very well. Let's see, Kristen asked, what's the next few years look like for the AI industry, like regulation, growth? Oh man, you're asking me to predict the future here. Um, the next few years look very different. Imagine my digital twin giving this webinar, right? You wouldn't experience the human moments that I had in this, the pauses that I had in the presentation. A lot of these wouldn't necessarily happen, right? But imagine working with my digital twin. You'd hire my company, my organization, and you're working with an AI version of the human person, the human that created it. That's a lot of where this is going. The agentic workflows, AI agents is huge. That's going to become a big thing this year. Google, ChatGPT, and I think a couple other companies have already released AI agents. ChatGPT has one called Operator, and Operator does what I described. You say, hey, I have a conference in Austin or Houston or wherever you're going, and here's the conference. Here's the airline I like to fly on. Here's the rental car company I like to rent a car from. Here are the hotels I like to stay at, and it will go book and do all of that for you. That's real today. And so just looking at this technology, all of this is going to get more streamlined, hopefully easier to use, and just bigger, better, and smarter and faster, much faster. Let's see. Kristen asked, do you have any advice specific to creating a digital teammate? Yes. Very good question. So inside of ChatGPT, I don't have time to fully show you, but inside of ChatGPT, you have an option to, if you're on the paid version, you click explore. Let's see if I can do this really. This is going to be really quick. So hopefully you're ready to absorb information really fast. Okay, so you can now see my screen. Perfect. All right, so down here on the side, you have Explore GPTs. You click this button, you click Create, and it takes you to the Create a New GPT, is what OpenAI calls it. I call them digital teammates because I legitimately use them like that. But this is where you create them. And so you have to give them a name, a description, instructions. You don't have to do conversation starters, but upload files, knowledge. This is where I gave mine, our branding, our guidelines, our service offerings, and then, what features do you want? And someone asked, can you have it post to social media for you, or how do you do the email? That's in this actions section. It is advanced. It is writing code. It is understanding certain levels of software creation to do that. But it is GPT and it can walk you through it. The important piece here is the name and the instructions. The instructions is what specific perspective is it coming from? Is it a CMO? Is it a sales VP? Is it a social media expert? Is it a transcript guru, email guru, right? Instructions here, this is where you put that information, very narrow perspective, and then run with it and edit and iterate. It does take iteration. It is not going to be perfect the first time you do it, but that's where you go ahead and create your digital teammates, and that is something that we teach as well. But I do realize we're running right up against the time, and Sharon, I don't know where we're at or where the audience is at if you want to ask some more questions or whatnot, but yeah.
We'll wrap it up here, but if anyone has any extra questions, we will send out a post of an email, and we will also contact Plugin Justin's and Neesh's AI's website for if you have any further questions about training as well as AI literacy. But with that, that brings us to the end of this very insightful live demo, harnessing AI when it comes to customer growth while marketing strategies and AI digital twin and AI assistant. That was very helpful. So a huge thank you to all of you for joining us today. We hope you all walked away with something truly actionable, act strategies, and a renewed excitement about the potential of AI. Remember, the tools we discussed like ChatGPT are readily available, and Justin shared techniques can be implemented immediately to start seeing results with your business. So a special thank you to our expert, Justin Coates, co-founder of neesh.ai. Justin, your expertise and clear explanations were invaluable today. The live demonstrations were incredibly helpful and accessible about the powerful AI tools that exist. So thank you for sharing your knowledge and passion with us. We really appreciate your time and insights. And for those who asked questions we didn't get to, or if you want to revisit any of the concepts discussed, we'll send a recording of this webinar. So please keep an eye on your inbox. Thank you again all for joining us, and we hope to see you all next time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.